Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back. We have this week at Bungie on 114, and I'm covering it because it involves the sandbox, a lot of updates. So I'm going to read through them and give my reaction. I haven't read the patch notes yet. So we have a rewards update for the Dreaming City and the Moon. This is good. They say since the launch of Beyond Light, they've been collecting what feels like a metric ton of feedback on various Destiny systems. They have plans for rewards, DDoS protection for console, crossplay, and transmog. But they want to talk about rewards from two of the major destinations, the Moon and the Dreaming City. For next season, they've reissued the Dreaming City Dawn and Moon Dreambane armor. This armor is going to drop with high stats when you earn it through Shattered Throne or the Pit of Heresy. The final chest in Pit of Heresy will no longer drop a fully masterworked armor piece. Instead, it's going to have 7 armor energy and guaranteed to drop in 2 stat categories of at least plus 16, and class items aren't going to drop from the chest, so this is good. They're reissuing 4 weapons from the Dreaming City with new perks: Waking Vigil, Sleepless, Vouchsafe, and Retold Tale. Dreaming City weapons that drop from the Shattered Throne dungeon can roll with perks that are unavailable from drops from other reward sources. So this is really good because when they sunset, they took out a lot of options. When they sunset a lot of the planets, Dreaming City was kept, the Moon was kept, but it was near pointless to go there and try to get any loot from, so at least they're bringing back some weapons. And it's something like Waking Vigil is a 140 RPM hand cannon. What we have Ancient Gospel, which is from the raid, and Nation of Beasts, which is also from a raid, Last Wish. So this puts a good hand cannon out there to go out and get, and it's gonna have new perks. I've always liked Vouchsafe with the rapid hit. Sleepless, Retold Tale, we'll see if they do anything to shotguns. It could be worth picking up a good roll. I would almost assume that Retold Tale is gonna have quick draw. It previously did, so let's hope it keeps that. And also something like Waking Vigil and Vouchsafe, I would really hope that something like Killing Wind is dropped on those. They're also bringing back 4 weapons from the Moon with new perks: the Premonition, Heretic, Blasphemer, and Apostate. Rocket Launcher Sniper Rifle, and the Kinetic Slug Shotgun, and again we're gonna have to see what perks that they put on those. It's unfortunate we don't have any of the Lectern weapons. I have some Loud Lullaby gameplay in the background, I love it so much. This is Outlaw multi-kill clip, there's Tranquility, there's a couple good weapons in there that I know would become a part of the meta, so it's unfortunate. They've said, I believe Cosmo did, that there's a couple 120s coming next season, so maybe they don't want Loud Lullaby stepping on the toes of those. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And again, weapons that drop from the Pit of Heresy dungeon can roll with the perks that are unavailable from drops from other reward sources. They're expanding the Lost Sector Legend and Mass Rotation to include the Moon Lost Sectors, the K1 Revelation Communications, Logistics, and Crew Quarters. And it makes sense. They said they're making these changes to preserve them and to make them relevant, especially since some of the Pinnacle in-game activities still exist there. And they say to get more specific around the actual experience, activities where reissues are acquired will be heavily weighted towards rewarding reissued gear over capped gear, though the weighting and mechanisms are going to differ. For example, they say in the Dreaming City, if you've already obtained an infusion capped weapon, it's not going to drop for you again. While not every source or legendary reward is going to be kept up to date for the entire lifespan these destinations are available, they do believe that there's going to be high value in targeting some very specific activity drops for continued relevancy. And it makes sense. This seems like it's an after the fact they're going to add it on top into Season 13, because if these destinations are going to be there, give us a reason to be there to go get them. They move into the token system. Looking into the future, the team is excited to update in ways we earn reputation with ritual vendors and rewards that come from them. They're happy to announce that some changes are coming to Gambit, Crucible, and the Strike reward structure. And as we know, they're going to be adding 2 unique weapon rewards for each of the playlist rituals. So 6 total weapons across 3 activities, 2 Gambit, 2 Crucible, 2 Strike. That's going to be addition to the ones added in Season of the Hunt, and continue to have a small chance to drop at the end of each activity. So maybe Friction Fire or some of the, like the SMG, they're going to start dropping after games. They say secondly, starting in Season 13 for Gambit and Crucible, for Valor, and in future season for Strikes, rank rewards will be visible on the ritual vendors, so shacks. And they give this example. Each season you're going to be greeted by a row of rewards, progression towards which will be earned automatically as you complete relevant playlist activities. Instead of having rank rewards dropped automatically, they're now going to be picked up manually from the vendor lists. They say they feel this gives a much better visibility into what you'll be earning as you go through it. The progression's on a per ritual basis. You can be rank 10 for Crucible, rank 4 for Gambit, for example. You reset your rank right at the vendor by picking up the final reward. So some of the things in here, we have upgrade modules, enhancement cores, the ritual shader, enhancement prisms, the ritual emblem, and the reset reward is an Ascendant Shard. After you do this first playthrough, the rank 10 seasonal shader switches to 3 enhancement cores. The emblem changes to 2 enhancement prisms, and the Ascendant Shards changes to an exotic Ingram when you reset your rank. This makes perfect sense to me. It's a step in the right direction because, I mean, I don't know how many I have, 10,000, 20,000 Crucible tokens, and as they take things out, like when they took out True Prophecy, like I wasn't spending the tokens, there's nothing to spend them on. I like this clear path. We're getting away from a token system. We can get some materials that actually matter, the upgrade modules, the enhancement cores, the prisms, and the ascendant shards. Then ultimately, if you play a lot of PvP, you're gonna get exotics on the reset. That's perfect. It almost feels like each vendor is gonna be like a battle pass. And I don't know how I feel about that. I do feel that this can continually be upgraded on. I would like for them to eventually have weapons as well, like we did in D1, please. Have them rotate weekly with their roles. Next, they get into the Revenant Shatterdive and also Fissures for the overall stasis artifact. They said trials went live, they started tracking the data from trials, and they're going to identify some short-term changes as well as some mid-term goals that they're focusing on in the upcoming weeks and months. Short-term goal is to address outlier stasis abilities to keep subclass decision-making interesting. So the first thing is to reduce the potency of Shatterdive plus Whisper of Fissures against Guardians. For Shatterdive, now has damage fall-off versus unfrozen targets. Max rain damage reduced from 50 to 5. That's massive. That's huge. Damage resistance during the ability reduced from 50% to 25%. For Whisper of Fissures, reduce the min-max damage versus non-super players from 42-22 to 30 and 4. So this is a huge nerf. Reduce min-max damage versus super players from 42-22 to 16-2. Reduce detonation radius versus players from 10 meters to 9 meters. I would assume that this is going to mean for Fissures overall, not just with Shatterdive, because we still have the knee slide from the Titan, we still have shooting them various ways to explode the crystals and then doing the massive damage. So it just sounds like it's for Whisper of Fissures overall. They're going to investigate the efficacy of the Stasis Titan Behemoth Super. We want to let the above change settle in to see where Behemoth stands in our PvP hierarchy. I'm telling you right now, it's going to climb to the top. Behemoth right now has an insane neutral game of movement with its knee slide. It's got a one-shot melee ability to hit people off the map into walls. It slows people. The super lasts for what, 30, 45? It lasts an eternity. It has 60% damage resistance. It's obviously going to rise to the top. I do feel though, taking away Shatterdive when paired with Fissures on Glacier Grenades is huge. It's still gonna be fairly good if they land right on top of you, because a smart hunter, especially with Bacchus, they're gonna do the combination and then Bacchus out or just dodge straight back, so they're gonna slow you. It's still gonna be extremely strong, it's just not going to one-shot you. It might be just a little delayed now. Their midterm goal is to improve the PvP subclass usage and win rate balance. Addressing stasis ability outliers are gonna help lower the ceiling, but they also want to pull up other underperforming light subclasses. So hopefully we get another big round of changes with buffs to various subclasses. I would love that. And another midterm goal is review our ability to gunplay balance in PvP. We have two sides. We have the ability space magic moment, and then we have the intrinsically satisfying gunplay. And that's a real reason why a lot of us played this game, PvE and PvP wise. The weapons feel good, the movement feels great, the space magic is just fun. They say, especially in our 3v3 playlists, the usage of abilities has climbed as we introduce more and more ways to charge them quickly. We're still in the very early discussions, but we're looking to restoring a better balance where proper gunplay is rewarding in these playlists. I actually talked about this last night on the Firing Range podcast, and if you didn't know that, myself, Cami Cakes, Drewski, Fallout Plays, Mercules, we do a bi-weekly podcast under the Destiny Community Podcast umbrella. It's called Firing Range. We talk about the sandbox. And basically what I said is we do have these two parts of why people play. There's the gunplay and then there's the space magic. And like the perfect balance are where the guns are shining just a little bit more, because right now the abilities are shining a little too much and it takes away from the overall gunplay. So this is good. They also reiterate and say that since they've done changes for back end and with the Destiny Content Vault, the patch pipeline is better than before, it's faster. They said some of these changes are going to happen at light speed. They're going to still approach, collect feedback, work on them, check the data, and then test them. And once these changes are validated, they'll be in future this week at Bungie and then eventually to us. And real quick, it's worth noting that stats and files from Halo stopped getting updated on Bungie.net. And on February 9th, the halo.bungie.net website is going to be taking offline permanently. That kind of hits home for a couple of reasons. Number one, that's where I met my best friend, was in Halo 3. The match is still on Bungie.net. There's a whole story with that best friend. Basically, was the best man at my wedding, whole bunch of things in between. Ultimately, I now live 10 minutes down the road from him, so Halo's always been a huge thing for me. And also February 9th, that's my birthday. It's kind of crazy how everything works out. And also February 9th, that's when the new season comes out. So I hopefully plan to stream that, and I hope to see you guys here on YouTube while I do. So overall here, I think that we needed immediate relief from Shatterdive and Fissures. Fissures was intense, and Shatterdive was intense paired with it. For the overall health of the Crucible, it's needed. And before we start going really too hard in nerfing the stasis abilities, I would really like to see some upkeep of the light subclasses. And make no mistake, this helps tremendously what they're doing, because I was playing Top Tree Nova Bomb in Trials not too long ago. I was using it specifically for the Axion Bolt to make people move. But the issue is, with Top Tree Nova and a bunch of other trees, that when you start combating stasis, you have one really good thing, and after that, the rest of the kit is almost useless. Because it's really hard to go punch something. It's really hard, you know what I'm saying? Something like Top Tree Arc Striker with Combination Blow. In the current state of the sandbox, you're not dodging around anything right now. You're gonna get tore up. So yes, I'm really happy about this. It needed to happen, but I do hope they start buffing some other things. And I'll say again, I do wish some of the lectern weapons were brought back, but I'm okay with the 8 that are being brought forward into Season 13. Again, this sounds like it's on top. It's like they knew, because things are falling off, things like Breach Light that I still use, Trophy Hunter that I still use. The Trophy Hunter with Vorpal is like the only thing in the game that can take out a behemoth. Those are going away. And if they're gonna have destinations, they need to have proper loot with them. It looks like it's all gonna get tied to the dungeon stuff, or the moon, like the altar stuff. I mean, this is okay. Like I said, it just sounds like it's totally on top of what's coming with Season 13 as an added thing, which I'm cool with. I'm gonna be getting a Waking Vigil, a Blasphemer, things like that. I really do like these steps. We're gonna see how they play out, of course, but let's talk about it down below. What are your thoughts on all of this? With the weapons coming back, let's talk about the lectern a little bit. I wanna know your thoughts, because like I said, I was priming myself to start using Loud Lullaby again. As you guys see, it's fun. It's a fun gun. How do you feel about like what I'm seeing and calling a battle pass type system for the vendors? And again, my initial thought is that it's better than what we have now, and hopefully they build on it and add weapons with random rolls every week like we did in D1. Overall, this is a very good this week at Bungie. There's a lot to talk about, and let's do it down below. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. If you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. You can use link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. There's a couple more weapons I'm going to review before the next season starts. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.